are we at the point where the Australian government and obviously departments and so on have to develop options for Australia if this invasion does happen, so we're ready to move if it happens and there's no delay?
Well, I know you want to sort of talk about a hypothetical scenario, Tom, about war and all that. What is in our national interest, frankly, is to do everything possible to de-escalate the situation. No one wants conflict in the region, and it is not in our interests to see that happen clearly. And I don't think it's in China's interest practically either, because we're talking about a massive impact on the global economy if there was such conflict, and frankly, a massive impact on China's economy. And the gains that they've made in economic growth over decades would be put in peril and jeopardised. Look, there's a lot of things happening domestically in China. There's the Party Congress coming up in October. Some analysts have talked about how that is partly the reason why President Xi is, reaching for these sort of military exercises to burnish his nationalist credentials ahead of the Party Congress and potentially to be extended for a third term. So there's some domestic politics involved as well. But there is a real question here around the impact that it will have on all of us. And I think it's important for us to continue to push, to de-escalate, to urge restraint, and for China to also recognise that it's in its best interests for there to be a status quo around the Taiwan Straits. What we've said with our One China policy is we want to see peaceful dialogue. Any evolution in that situation has to be done through peaceful means and through dialogue.
Again, that's the hope that will be resolved that way. But so far, clearly, it's falling on deaf ears given this latest development. Are we at a point where let me just ask this question: are we at a point where, in some way, China needs to send a message that, without revealing what any one country, including Australia, would do, that this would not be a cost-free exercise for China?
Look, I'll just make a point about your question. It's not just a hope. It is a pathway forward that we are all undertaking, because it is in our national interest to prevent conflict in the region. It is in our national interest for there to be stability in the region, for our economic interests and our national security interests. So it's more than just a hope. It is a path that we're trying to navigate. Now, the live military exercises that have been undertaken in response to a congressional visit to Taiwan, we have said are disproportionate, and they are disproportionate. Although, let's be serious here. There was a Senate visit to Taiwan a couple of months ago, and not a word was said. So clearly there's something going on here. With respect to the other part of the question, it is in Australia's responsibility to always prepare. Defence forces, our security agencies always prepare for every possible scenario, frankly, and make sure that we have the right capability. And that's what Defence Minister Richard Marles is doing with some urgency, clearly, since we've taken government.
The criticism has also come from China's foreign ministry being directed at Penny Wong. Has the prospect of a reset of the relationship gone now?
Look, there's a lot of things going on, and I think that our foreign minister has been entirely reasonable in pointing out the benefit to de-escalate tensions, and why that is in the interests of all the countries in the region, including China, to de-escalate and to lower temperatures. And she's been entirely reasonable in what she's said. So there's a lot of heavy rhetoric, if I could put it that way, at the diplomatic level. I'd never discount the possibility for a continuance of trying to stabilise the relationship.
But it's not looking great, is it?
No, but there's been, obviously bumps in the relationship over a period of time, and there's been some progress more recently with the first engagement between our foreign minister and their foreign minister after 3 years of non-engagement. Our defence minister, Richard Marles, met the Chinese defence minister. Dialogue is good, Tom. Any dialogue is good. It's much better because it's about being able to engage. So we'll continue to pursue stabilising the relationship.
Peter Khalil, got to leave it there. Thanks for your time today.
Thanks, Tom.